I'm gonna share this with you. I wish someone would have told me this in high school, and now that I know, I just want to tell you. So hey guys, welcome to today's video. If I'm honest, I really didn't know what to title this video because I know back to school is happening and I wanted this to be a back to school video, but then I thought there's a wider range of audiences that can benefit from this video. So I wanted to title it, How to Know If He's the One. And then again, I don't really know. That's really between you and God and you and him. But I feel like this is a really important topic that we need to talk about. I was going through my comments this morning while I was drinking my coffee and I just saw all these stories about you guys just like not knowing what to do in these relationships, and I'm like, well, I want to touch on this because school is starting and I want to encourage you for this new year that you'll be just going in strong, knowing who you are, knowing that you're worth it and how much you are worth, so that you won't have to go downhill and then come back up again, but that you can just start here and keep moving up, okay? If you're up for learning about all of this stuff and to find out if this guy or a guy that you want to like, a crush that you have, if he's really worth it, keep watching this video. We're going to talk about all those things. To start off the video, I just want to say I'm not a relationship expert. I am an ENFJ though. If any of you know what that is, if you've taken the Myers-Briggs test, I am definitely someone whose personality is very good with relationship counseling because I have a gift of being able to put myself in somebody else's shoes in my mind, but not just one person, but everybody. So I try to understand, I try to, when I comment back to you guys, to just, you know, truly say what I feel for you, not give everybody the exact same advice, because we're all different and something that works for you may not work for me. And I'm able to tell you this and you may completely get it in your head, or you may be like me, like people could have told me this, but it just went right over my head and I had to learn it the hard way. And that's just some of the things that's just how we are. We're human. So anyways, the first thing I want to talk about is you are worth it. You are so worth it. And once you finally discover what that means, like worth, what worth means in your life and how to just like fall in love with yourself and who you are and enjoy just being around you. Like, for example, I'm a people person. I am a huge extrovert. I love to be around people, be around my friends. But then senior year, I ended up going to a different school. So I didn't know anybody. And not only did I go to a different school, but I came in late. So 3 weeks late, here I am, Tabitha, walking into this new school. Also, may I add, it was my first time at a public school. Never been in a school with that many people before. So I was a lot different. I mean, who wouldn't be? I was not necessarily confident. I was a little bit quiet. Not shy, but I didn't know anybody, so I didn't have anybody to talk to. And I had to learn how to love myself. I had to learn how to be okay sometimes with being alone. And then realizing that I'm never alone because I have the Lord. No matter what your religion is, you have to learn to love yourself. Before that you can have any relationships that you want, before you can get married to this guy, you have to learn to love yourself. You hear all those people say with their wedding vows, like, you were my other half and blah 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 blah, and I just want to say, I want to call those people out for a quick second. This is a revelation I had. I wasn't always this way, but I realized you don't want to marry somebody that's your other half. You want to be one person. You want to be fulfilled in who you are by yourself. I mean, with God, but you want to be fulfilled in who you are. So then when somebody else comes along, not only are you able to withhold yourself, but you can withhold another person as well. And the same thing for them. You don't want this person to come to you completely broken and not only do you have to hold up yourself, but you have to hold up this person as well. No, you're a team. And when you get married, you become one. You become one unit. For example, there was this comment and they were talking about how like there's this guy, you know, and he's like the bad boy, and her mom doesn't want her to be with him, you know, but she really cares about him. And I just have to say to that, bad boy is not a bad thing. It's the fact that you are worth it. You are so worth it that you don't deserve that. I understand what it feels like to truly love somebody, but them not necessarily be in the best place. And listen, that's good, and that's good for a time being, but there's a time where you have to let them go. There's that whole saying again, and I totally believe in this: if you love something, you have to let it go. If it loves you, or if it's truly meant to be, it'll come back. And the reason I say that is because if you're worth it to them, they will figure it out and they will come find you, because that's how worth it you are. Like, I want to be so worth it that I'm pursued. I want a guy to walk across the room and come up to me and say, hey, can I get to know you? You want to go get coffee? Because they would rather risk that and be rejected and be embarrassed than not get to know me. Like, that's how worth it I want you guys to realize that you are. You're so worth it. And sometimes being worth it is hard. And I'm not saying, you know, you can't make the first move, because my goodness gracious, I have made the first move so many times, let me tell you. And sometimes that's really good, because you need to find out, is this person something that I need to keep thinking about, or is this something that I need to let go? And trust me, if you go up to there and you embarrass yourself completely and he doesn't like you, you will feel so good. You won't feel embarrassed. You may feel for a second, but you will feel like, I am free. I am finally free. Like, even the little girl that I used to nanny, she told me, she's like, yeah, I told him I liked him, and now I feel so much better. And I was just like, and what did he say? She was like, oh yeah, he was embarrassed. And I was like, and you feel good? She's like, oh yeah. And she's like, I don't really like him anymore. And it's so funny how once you let go and you do that and you just act on courage, first of all, your friends are like, how did you do that? Teach me. But you feel so good. Does he know you're worth it? And do you know you're worth it? Because it's one thing for him to know, but you need to know first. All right, the second thing is identity. What I was just saying is about how you need, I'm not gonna point at you guys, how you need to know you're worth it. That's so important. An image I read this book called A Man Worth Waiting For, and by the way, it is an amazing book. I reread it and I reread it again and I write in the margins. It's just inspired me so much. There's this really important thing I took away from the book, and it's this picture of me and my life, and I'm running after God. In my entire life, I'm just running this course, you know, sometimes I mess up, but I just keep running straight, or whatever, however you want to envision that. And all of a sudden, this guy comes up right next to me and he's running by me. And the way that you can know if he's the one, the way I'll know if he's the one for me, is as I run after God, if he's running after God and our paths are combined and we stay together. And that's a choice, obviously, that we have to make. But then it's also my choice, if I see his path veering, to veer my path and follow him or God. And so that's how you know if he's the one, is if he's taking you away from what God is calling you to do, I'm not sure that he's the one for you. But if he's completely pursuing you and following God and it's just lining up, great. But make sure that he's not following you over following God. That's something that is so hard, will make you cry forever, but it's so worth it. And you learn so much if you can be strong enough to make that choice. All right, third thing that we're gonna talk about today is love is a verb. And when I say that, I don't mean that love can't be what you understand it to be necessarily, but I want to encourage you that love is more than you know, in the sense that I believe love is an action. Love is a choice. Love is something that you are not gonna always feel. Love is something that he needs to understand is an action, something that he's going to constantly show you, saying, hey, I love you, is good, but there's so much more for him to be able to be like, hey, good morning, here, I got you this coffee, or I know that you didn't want to get the laundry done today, so I did this for you because I love you, because you are worth it. We won't go back into that. But anyways, in saying that, because there are going to be times when I get married, I know there's times when my friends who are married or have boyfriends, they tell me, they don't feel like loving the person. That feeling that we define love as, that's attraction, that's that, oh, I like you feeling. And I'm sure it can get to the place where we think that's a love feeling, but I believe that love is a choice, and love is something that even when somebody's in the hospital, even when you are so mad because they didn't follow through on a plan that they promised they would do, or an expectation wasn't met, that's where you can say, you know what? I love you, and I'm gonna choose to love you, even though that hurt me, even though I am so sad right now, I'm gonna choose to love you, because love is a choice. If he understands that and you can see that, then great. If not, I'm not saying he's not the one, but maybe you guys need to learn that together and start growing in that new little revelation that you found. And in me saying all these things, I'm sure there's things that I could add into my understanding of how to describe them, because I am only 19, I don't know everything. But I know that the relationships that I've had have made me into who I am today, and I'm so thankful for that. Should I have been in the relationships I was in? Probably not. Should I do a video about that? Probably not yet. I'm not there yet, guys. This is one last thing I'm gonna throw out there before I end the video. So number 4, a man worth waiting for is somebody, and I learned this from the book, is somebody who's not afraid to be emotional. In our society, we've told guys, you know, to not be emotional. You know, we put them in the military. We, at school, we make fun of the ones that cry, or we laugh at the ones in the television. I don't think boys feel safe to be emotional. And I just want to say that in the Bible, even Jesus cried. And Jesus is a man. Just to encourage you that if he's the one, make sure that he understands that it's okay to be emotional, because that's something that you want to teach your kids. You want him to understand that you're a safe place and that he can come to you, and communication is so important. And I know that's scary, but it's a lot better than pushing things down and not dealing with them. So, I'm saying this and I'm speaking to myself. That's all I'm gonna cover today. I know this video is gonna be super long just the way it is. If you guys want, just let me know in the comments if you want me to do a second video. If you have any stories you want to tell me or advice that you want, I would love to answer in the comments. Please don't hesitate to talk to me or DM me on Instagram. I will talk to you guys. And I hope that you got something out of this video and that it'll change your life and that you'll never forget it. Alright, thanks for sticking it out to the end with me. You're the real MVP. Make sure you guys comment below if you want any other advice videos or anything else about high school that you guys want advice about. I'm totally down for that. I just want you guys to be going in and changing the world, okay? If you're subscribed, I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.